This is Toby from Heavyweight MMA here again with Mr. Jamie Mullarkey, the pride of the Central Coast. Stand up, Mullarkey Army. You've kicked ass again, man. Beautiful 2 fights. What I liked, man, was when they call you out. They even call you out from the Central Coast of Australia. All us coasties, hair stands and ends on the arms, and then you go out and just destroy people, man. And then it makes us feel real proud. So well done, man. The last 2 fights have been amazing. How did it feel?
Yeah, no, it felt good, man. It felt good to be back in there. It felt a little bit too long in between fights, but yeah, good to get back in there and get another win. And it was a good win to get because I felt like it was it's one that I can learn a lot from. You know what I mean? It's not like it wasn't a perfect performance. So there's things that we are going to look at to definitely improve on and keep going forward with another good win.
That's it, man. For anyone that doesn't know how to fight against Devonte Smith, who was an up-and-coming star, you hear the way DC was talking about him, was like he was a real challenger for the division. And Jamie took him out in the second round with a KO. Really, really good performance, man. I mean, he seemed like a very, very strong fighter, and he did come out very strong. And then your pressure just seemed to overwhelm him, right?
Yeah, nah. So that was it was the whole game plan. The game plan was to take his speed off of him, and we did that well. Got hit a little bit more than expected, but that was sort of credit to him as well. To fight, you know, and he came in firing, but we knew that the training we done, it was no way that I was going to be put out.
That's it, man. It was actually funny, like I mentioned, it's funny to listen to DC talking about him because obviously DC had a bit of a vested interest in Devonte Smith, and he was talking him up like really. They were not even noticing some of the shots that you were landing. It was quite funny, and then the tide turned in the second round, and suddenly they couldn't. Them boy that they were talking up couldn't back it up. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I felt like it was a competitive first round. I don't know what it would have looked like from the outside looking in, but I didn't feel like it was you know what I mean? Like I still felt like I was very competitive, and a lot of people were very worried after the first round. But I sat down in my corner at Ross, and I got my breath back in about 30 seconds, and we knew that we probably lost the round, but we were like, we got him where we want him now. Like now it's time to really start pouring it on and just up that pressure and the volume just a little bit. So yeah, I kind of found it a little funny when people always say to me, "Oh man, like what a comeback," and everything like that. I understand it. It definitely looked like that way, but we were comfortable, man.
That's good, man. Now, people don't always understand that you're fighting in the premier fighting organization in the world. There's no one in there that's not a stud. And in the first round with a guy that's known for taking everyone out in their first round, and he's a supreme athlete like you all are, like, of course there's going to be tough times in every single fight pretty much, except for if you're going to catch him early with a KO. So that was, you can see he's an athletic guy, but you were maintaining pressure and you were making him work. And a few times you landed some really nice leg kicks. I saw one great hook on about the 3-minute mark. They didn't even mention it, but you landed a really crisp, hard hook, and it seemed to just shut him down for a second as well. So yeah, it was definitely very competitive that first round. And your pressure, it's funny because I'm thinking you're putting pressure, and then when I'm kind of thinking that's where your output is going to stick at. And then when you smelt blood in the water, you turned up like another 5 gears or something and just fucking destroyed him. It was awesome. When you clinched him up against the cage and then locked on his head for those knees to the body, it just looked amazing. And from there, he had no hope, right?
Yeah. No, I definitely felt a bit of a shift in momentum just in the end of that first round. So when you always feel it when you're in there with someone, and just from everything, from the way they take the shots, from their eyes, from their body language, everything about it. And when we got to that point when I did really pour it on, I just knew, and I heard my corner, I heard Ross just saying, you know, pull the trigger, and yeah, then we had what it took to get the job done.
That's sick, man. And would I be right in saying, like, from what I can see, you're obviously progressing with your trade, like along the way from your first. I've only been watching your fights in the UFC. I've watched a couple back, but following you more so in the UFC. And you progressed from balls in, running straight into things, to being a little bit more calculated. Would I be correct in saying that? You still got the pressure, but you're adding a bit more feints. You're adding your patience a little bit more into the game.
Yeah, oh, for sure, man, for sure. And I think it's a little bit of both. My fight IQ is getting better, and also just being in the UFC for, it's my fourth fight now. So I feel comfortable in there, and exactly what you're saying. Like my fight, I'm just starting to understand this game. I'm literally just starting to really understand this sport at a high level, and it's really exciting.
And would you attribute that progression to like training with the guys you've been training with, like Volk, learning from Ross, your coach, from getting more big time fights in the UFC, or is it just a combination of all those things?
Yeah, no, it is. It's working with high level guys. Like, it's funny, I say it to Ross now, like from when I started working with him, and this isn't by the way, this isn't like taking anything away from anyone else I've ever worked with, because they got my roots and my foundations of the basics, you know, like it's all a part of the journey. But yeah, at this level, you really need to be working with the highest people that you can, and you learn off anyone. You learn off anyone, no matter who it is. Everyone's got new tricks and new things to show. So, but when I first started working with Ross, like, I wouldn't even understand half the shit that he would be saying to me, because I just wasn't at that level yet, and I'd just be like taking it in, and then I've been working together for like 4 or 5 years now, about 4 years, and now I'm like on this, like getting to be at the same level, so I really understand everything that he's saying. So yeah, it's good.
That's awesome, man. I'm still amazed that you got someone like Ross Pearson on the coast, man. And I've been stuck over here for 2 years. I'd love to come and watch you guys train. I'll be back there as soon as it's freed up and I can travel back that way. Come and say hello back on the coast, man. Hey,
yeah, for sure.
So you've gone from smashing a couple of opponents. You also smashed up Karma Worthy with a super fast knockout now, Devonte Smith. And now I see you smashing up pies, man. So you must be on Instagram. I see you smashing up some nice looking pies. So you must be on in between fights now. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, I'm only human. I like a pie myself, mate. So getting it in while I can, and just enjoying a little bit of downtime. But we're straight back to work. We're like, the work doesn't stop. We're training still. We're just a little bit different to having a fight locked in place coming up. So
yeah. And is there any plans, or it's just waiting for advice from the UFC, or that you can actually do it?
Yeah, we haven't got anything locked in yet, but I would like to get back in there by like January if I can. See what happens.
Yeah, man. And now things are freed up a bit over there, right? So now you can actually get into the gym and train properly.
Yeah. So we actually we're gonna have to have our gym. We don't have a gym at the moment. That's what's happened with COVID and all the rest of it. So we're looking to basically move our gym into a new place in these next couple of weeks.
Cool, man. I don't want to keep you. Sorry, I don't want to keep you too long. So I'll just ask you a couple of quick more questions. Obviously, you're shooting up you want to shoot up the ranks. You want to do the best you can do. I look at the top 10 lightweights, and man, from the 15 top lightweights, I just looked at the 15 today, man, they're all killers. Is there anyone there you'd like to fight that you think you'd do well against up there?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
I think I've got a few fights to prove myself for sure, but like skill for skill, and if you want to talk about heart and will, like I'm right there with them. I'm right there with them. I know it. So it's about making these next few fights, making them really count, and I think I'm going to be in there with them.
Awesome, man. That's the mindset you have to have, man, to get up there and get amongst it, man. You're doing very well. Anyway, we're all very proud of you, man. And on that, I just want to ask you one lightweight fight coming up, Mr. Dan Hooker fighting Islam Makhachev. What do you think about this one, man? What are your thought on who's going to get that one?
Man, it's a great fight, and I honestly think that a lot of people are sleeping on Dan Hooker with this one. The guy's got like really good takedown defense. Great wrestling on the wall, and I think he could be a big, like, not so much upset because he's up there with them, but he's a tough stylistic fight for Makhachev. So interesting fight though. I can't wait. It's going to be a cracker. But I'm calling Dan Hooker with the decision win.
Yeah, man. I hope so. It's funny. Every Aussie I talk to, all back in the Kiwis, man. We're a very loyal bunch, you know.
Yeah.
I think. All right, man. So, Jamie, thanks so much for your time again. Good to get a quick update, and hopefully we can catch you again when you get your next fight announcement, man.
Yeah. Cheers, brother. Thanks, Toby.
Hey, man. Thanks for your time. Take it easy, bro.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks for your time again. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, mate. Cheers for having us on.